Oh yeah. Oh, all right, Gabe. Here we go. I was in match today. I got my duck, my duck. I have a couple choices here. You can maybe choose which hat you like me to wear here. I can wear the classic O.
Just save it. Just save it. You.
Hello, and welcome to Geoff Schwartz to Smart News. Today's episode of Geoff Schwartz Smart News presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Today is Tuesday, September 30th. I am Geoff Schwartz alongside Gabe Goodwin. I am proudly wearing my Oregon Duck shirt today. I don't see Gabe's USC shirt on. We'll talk about some college football later. We'll talk about Monday Night Football. I think barely. It will be acknowledged that games were played, things happened, and we'll cover the rest of the National Football League and college football stories at the end of the show. As usual, Gabe, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I mean, you already brought it up, and I would just tell you so that you can laugh a little more. I completed the rare fall trifecta, quadfecta, whatever, like a huge parlay of losing for me this weekend. I've got stomped in some kids' sports, USC, the Chargers, one of my fantasy teams, most of my bets, and the Mets were eliminated.
The Mets. I was hoping
Sunday.
you'd get to the Mets too. Yeah,
So, really just nothing but L's this weekend, Jeff.
Yeah. So you're still into the Mets. We're into the Mets still out of all your childhood teams?
For a couple days a year I am, and this was the weekend, and nope, that was an L.
Well,
Chargers
my baseball
and
team,
Mets just both going down at the same time.
We'll talk about the Chargers because their offensive line is an actual concern and worthy to talk about. My baseball team, by the way, went 81-81. The Giants, the most perfect record of all time because they're the boringest team in all sports. And just be interesting, like either be really bad, we get to laugh and mock you, or be good, obviously, or give me some hope that you're gonna make the playoffs. 81-81 is the most boring result of all time. This podcast, though, will not be boring today, Gabe. Where would you like to start?
Well, I'll start with the only thing I did win in my other fantasy league. I won for sad reasons. I don't take any pride in this, but Tyreek Hill going down with a very real and very nasty injury actually won probably a lot of people their league. So that one was real. I don't think we should talk about the team on the banned list that he plays for, even though they beat another team on the banned list who I used to root for. What I would like to talk about is a different injury to another star player where the takes appear to be that guy's faking it. He just didn't want to play in a loss to the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson, I don't know if that's a fair critique, but he has a hamstring injury that a lot of people are questioning. What do you make of that? And then we'll get into the Chiefs and everything else.
Well, first of all, the Tyreek Hill injury is like as gross as they come. Knee dislocation. And the thing when you dislocate anything, I've had dislocated my big toe and my ankle, not fun. Is then, it's everything around it, right? Like the knee itself is like, quote unquote, fine, but then it's the artery and the nerve in the knee for that specific injury. It's then all the ligaments around it. They announced an ACL injury already. I'd imagine the LCL is not doing well. I mean, right, when your bone moves like that, everything around it tears. And at his age, devastating injury, right? It's one of those that might be career ending for him. Well, so we hope him well. I think have surgery this morning, but just as gross as they come. It was. I'm glad they didn't show the replay of it. Thank you for once. The telecast didn't show gross replay. As far as Lamar, man, this is interesting, right? Because is the argument that he essentially could have played but didn't because they're losing? I don't think that's wrong, Gabe. But that doesn't mean he quit, right, in this game. If you have an injury, which happened, right? Jackson Dart hurt a hamstring, came back in. The game was close, right? When Lamar got hurt, his team was playing terribly. And the Ravens probably just said, you know what, man, like, it's not worth it. I think they were down 2 scores, middle third quarter. Maybe it was 3 scores at that point, 27-10 maybe at that point. And I understand them saying collectively, like, we're done with this today. It's not going to work today. Our defense is so beat up. We cannot lose Lamar. Do I think that, like, if the game was 21-21, he would have played? Probably. But that doesn't mean he quit. Like, the takes of him quitting on the team, to me, are a little bit aggressive, considering that I think a lot of teams in that situation would say, hey, like, let's be done with our quarterback who's a little beat up and the offense is not clicking. We're not winning this game. We have a long season ahead of us. We're 1-3. We need Lamar to be healthy because the rest of the team is so beat up right now. So do I think it was him deciding like I'm healthy, I don't want to play anymore, I quit in the game? No. Do I think it was a mutual decision of like let's hold him out for precaution? Yeah, that to me is not quitting, Gabe.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. So you're saying basically, had it been the other way around and the other quarterback in a rare scenario where the Ravens are up a few scores against the Chiefs, if that happens with Pat, they make the same choice and it's not even a
But
headline. Nobody's calling him a quitter. They're making a smart choice to
yeah,
prepare for next week.
yes, but look again, the situation matters, right? Like if the Chiefs are healthy as a group and they're down 27-10, they probably think, let's get Mahomes in the game and let's just try to make a comeback. Because Mahomes will
Yeah,
stay in the pocket and throw the ball.
right,
The Ravens, though, they knew they weren't going to stop the Chiefs. Like that's
right.
what it was in that game. And so, but like the thing too is that we have no instances previously of Lamar quitting. Like,
No.
you know what I mean? So that's why it's so silly when you see a guy who competes the way he does and puts his body on the line by running the football the way he does, his competitive spirit, like just to claim he quit in this game. Look, the body language of Baltimore is bad. And that might be a part of the reason why we're even talking about this is him quitting is because the body language, you look at the sideline and all the cameras they showed pan to the sideline, the body language is bad. It's bad all around. And it's bad because they're not good. They're making a ton of mistakes on offense, and their defense is so beat up they can't compete. I mean, they're down 6, 7, 8 starters right now, Gabe, and the margin for error is so small. You throw an interception, you fumble a ball like that. That game is over, and the older players know that on that team. It's such a departure from what the Ravens had been for so many years. I get the frustration that they show on the sidelines, but again, for body language, it's not great. Like things are going poorly in Baltimore right now.
Okay, so they've lost 7 of 8 to the Chiefs, who we'll spend a
Yes.
minute on coming up. I mean, we've sort of touched on Coach Harbaugh a couple times this season, but we kind of gave him an out, like, well, that was a tough hand, or well, he had injury. I mean, are we getting to the point where probably no more excuses? Like, this is a coaching problem. If the whole team looks like that and they're getting beat bad by every contender they play, like, yikes, right?
I mean, yeah, it's a couple things. I think it's fair to note that their schedule just sort of did them no favors,
Brutal.
right? You play Buffalo, you lose by one. You play the Lions in a physical game, and you go to Kansas City. But that's the National Football League, right? And you have tough schedules. You have to just suck it up. But
But they front loaded their schedule. I mean, they took
absolutely
on 3 Super Bowl contenders in the first 4 weeks.
correct. But the Chiefs also had the Chargers, the Eagles, and the Ravens. It's not like the
Great
Chiefs had
point.
an easy schedule, right? I mean, this is the National Football League. You have a first place schedule. You're going to play tough opponents. The Harbaugh thing, like the thing to me is like the injuries, right? You just keep having injuries. I don't know if that's anyone's fault per se, maybe just bad luck, but the injuries continue to pile up in Baltimore. And, for example, like the Chiefs just have been healthy for all these years. I don't know if Andy Reid does things differently at practice than John Harbaugh does, but the injuries continue to be a problem in Baltimore. The offensive line and the way they play against Kansas City, they can't figure out the Chiefs' pressure has been this way for years now. And this was the game, Gabe, to catch Kansas City, right? They're not playing their best football. They're a little bit down. You're the favorite, 2.5 point favorite in Kansas City, which is a rare thing to be. And Baltimore just didn't show up. And they, again, because the defense is so beat up, you have no margin of error in offense. Couple turnovers, like that was it. The game was over. No, and the Ravens did the thing that happens against Kansas City where they just don't run the football after they get behind in a game. And I understand, again, most of the time I'd argue that you should keep running the football no matter what when you play Kansas City. But the Chiefs' run defense is actually good. Like they do that really well. And then you get down, and it's just like that's the end of this. I mean, Derrick Henry had 8 carries. Justice Hill had 3. They didn't have a lot of plays. They only had 33 pass attempts and 17 rush attempts, so not a lot of plays. So 50 plays is not a lot in the NFL. Again, because the Chiefs just chewed up clock. They were third down. Chiefs were not very good. 5 of 15, but they were 4 for 4 on fourth down. So the drives kept going and going and going, and just weren't a lot of plays for the Ravens to be had.
Pat put up Pat numbers. We haven't really seen that many games like this in the last couple of years. They've won plenty. It's always been Spags that kind of gets them there until the playoffs. Is this just one of those things where Pat's got it, and if he wants it bad enough, he can do it, or did something change in the offense?
It's the best the offense has looked, I'd argue, in years, right?
Yeah.
So I think a couple things we saw in this game, and I tried to tell you, like, just give me a wide receiver back. Let's see what they look like with Worthy back, and he played really well. That moves obviously like Thornton down a spot, Brown down a spot to where they're not the number one target. It allows a little bit of freedom for Kelsey to make some plays because they're eyeing Xavier Worthy now and Thornton and whatnot. But two, Gabe, the offensive line has played well the last couple of weeks in Kansas City. Like they're starting some young guys on the left side. They're playing better. And one thing you notice, and again, the Ravens don't have a lot of pass rushers. Like, yeah, Van Noy's out, Matabuka's out for the season. Like, it's a problem. But they protected Patrick Mahomes, and he looked very comfortable being protected. And now all quarterbacks do that, but sometimes it just needs a couple of drives of confidence, and the ball just started getting let loose, throwing the ball deep, taking chances, letting his wide receivers make plays for him, and it looked like a real functioning offense for really the latter part of the last three quarters of that game. And I know the pushback is always, Gabe, that, oh, they played a beat up Ravens defense. And I always say what I say, right? You should play well against a bad defense if you're good offense. It's very simple, right?
Yeah.
You should. You should. If the Chiefs scored 17 points, that would be a problem. Scored 37 though, because they should play well against a bad defense. So look, Chiefs are 2-2 now. They're one back in the division, which is wild after the first couple of games when we thought they would never be in this spot. And you look around the rest of the division, and you look at the Broncos right now, and you look at the Chargers, and the Raiders are not going to win the division. And the Chiefs are right back, sort of where they were to start the season. They're 2-2, but they're just a game back in the division with, what, my math is correct, 13 games left still.
Yeah, the division is very winnable. I want to spend some real time on the Chargers and the line. You teased it earlier. Before we get to that, though, I think we have to go to the other huge, big marketed game of the week. That really, frankly, screwed up a nice evening I had planned. I was going to watch a couple episodes of something on Netflix out here on the West Coast. We got a nice chunk of time after SNF ends, but not this game. No. This game had to go on between the Cowboys and the Packers. The Micah Bowl had to go on till forever, only to end in the most anticlimactic ending I've ever seen. And Mike Tirico even sounded bored as that game ended 40-40 on a kick at the end of overtime. Is that game sort of just who these teams are, that like, wow, cool, you're exciting in spurts, but like, we don't have to take either of you seriously? Is that where we are now with both those teams?
Dallas has the number one offense in the NFL in yards per game and the worst defense in yards per game in the NFL. I'm so sorry, Gabe. I'm so sorry you had to stay up till 9:15 to watch a football game.
Incorrect. I had to start Netflix at 9:15, which cut it into
thoughts and prayers.
I wanted to watch 2 episodes of Black Rabbit. I only got to get to 1.
What show? Black Rabbit? It's good.
Yeah,
I need some shows to watch.
It's Jason Bateman just doing Ozark, but with long hair.
I once sat with Jason Bateman. I think I told you this at Madison Square Garden. There's like a restaurant for like the celebrities that go to the games. And when I was playing for the Giants, I got to go in that room to have dinner before a game, and they would take us their intermission of hockey. And so I sat with him like at a table for like 15 minutes once and just shot, just like to talk sports. I don't know, it was random.
Did he know sports?
Yeah, he knew. Yeah.
You haven't told me this story.
I haven't. Yeah, he knew enough about sports. Yeah. We just and then we walked the elevator and went back to the game and never saw him again. So that the story about meeting Jason Bateman one time.
Did he sound like he sounds as every character he plays in real life, or did he have a different voice?
Seemed pretty normal, like just normal guy. I don't remember.
He has that
voice.
Way of talking. I
think it was more. I think it was more normal. I would say more normal than his character he plays. But I have Tuesday night and Wednesday night to basically watch Tuesday night to watch Netflix. That's the only night I have during the week because of football. Sure. So I need to add a show. I can't watch enough of my wife's stuff. I need to watch. So Black Rabbit, I'll do that. And I don't even know where we were at. We were talking about the games.
I wanted to hear about the Packers basically. I don't care about the Cowboys.
I know. I went to sleep. I was shocked when I woke up. It was 40-40, an overtime tie. I couldn't believe it.
Tie. It was the worst.
The Packers defense is disappointing, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, the Cowboys offense has played well. I get that, but they're missing offensive linemen. They don't have a dynamic running back. They are missing their best wide receiver, and they got whatever they wanted. I did this on my Bear Bets podcast. I'll pull up now. I mean, No, sorry, I did with Dave yesterday. I think it was like the drive chart at the end of the game. Needing a stop. The Vikings. I mean, the Packers needed a stop, and they didn't get a stop the entire second half of this game, and it's real concern. You look at that offense. It's played well this year. In outside of really the Browns game, but the end of this game, like it went. Packers scored to go up 2016. Then the Cowboys scored, the Packers scored, the Cowboys scored, the Packers, the Cowboys. Like they allowed 1, 2, 3 touchdowns in a row in the third and fourth quarter, trying to gather with a win. And so to me, the concern for the defense that was supposed to be better this season, I get the Cowboys that play well in offense, but that was surprising to me. Maybe it's a one-off game. You just ran into a buzzsaw of a Cowboys offense. You didn't have the juice to defend them. Because look, the Packers play well against the Lions on defense, right? The Lions right now are unstoppable, and they were stopped against the Packers. So the defense, though, does worry me.
Yeah, and also you play all the way to the end of OT, exchanging blows the whole way through. You're going to get a big score. I was mostly just disappointed that the game came down to a kicker and ended in a tie. I mean, I don't know, strike 3 is right behind the corner of that. That's 0 for 2 in my book.
Listening to broadcast of the NFL is when kickers are about to kick is so interesting. So like every week it's like Geoff Schwartz career high 55-yarder. They're attempting a 64-yard kick, never made it before, right down the middle. New career high for Geoff Schwartz, 64 yards. These guys are bombing kicks, Gabe. It's too much. They're too good. I remember I went to the NFL. John Casey was our kicker. Well, I mean, 45 yards. It's like pushing it. Then in 2012, Blair Walsh with the Vikings, he made 10 50-yarders, I think, that year. First time ever. And it became now where Aubrey and all these guys, I mean, they're making 60-yard kicks with regularity.
I'm glad that normally I hate talking about kickers. In fact, always I hate talking about kickers. But I just realized we're about 3 weeks overdue for you paying off the Matt Prater story. You teased a great story. You didn't actually tell us the punchline on the show. The people who like this show and listen with some regularity are probably like, what the hell did Prater say to that guy? So are you ready to tell it, or are we just going to keep drawing this out? I don't want to make it too big.
It was a preseason game. I'm sitting in the sidelines. Prater is a funny dude, man. It was a younger team. So, we were kind of the older guys, so we got along decently well. And he comes up to me and in the middle of the stadium, early first quarter, and he's like, hey, he's shorter, so he's like, come here, Schwartz, like lean down, and he goes, hey, how's it feel to have the smallest penis in this entire stadium? And I laughed uncontrollably, Gabe, for like 5 minutes, because it's not a grand joke, but in the moment of like, hey, Schwartz, like, come here. How's it feel to have the smallest penis in the stadium? It was like the funny, dude, I laughed so hard. I also have very toilet sense of humor, but I thought it was the funniest thing I'd heard in a long time in that situation. You're in the middle of training camp. Like I just did not expect that to ever come out of his mouth. And it was incredibly funny.
Also, I mean, I don't know how Matt Prater compares to other kickers, but he would be one of the smaller men on a football field. You are one of the larger men on a football field. It takes a bit of balls, frankly, to make that joke to you.
It was so good. It's like, come here, Schwartz, come here. I'm going to tell you something. How's it feel to have the smallest penis in this whole stadium? So good, dude. So funny. I don't remember many, like, I remember some other things that were funny. Like I did this field goal one time where, we were getting ready to, I think it was on the Chiefs this year. I even forget what game it was. We were getting ready for a field goal. And like some of it, so there's different forms of like shit talking, right? Excuse my language there. Like there's like actual anger. Like, there are guys that like actually like dislike each other during the game. And there's like back and forth. Then there's guys that sort of just talk to talk. Like and my philosophy was, if someone was going to talk shit to me, I didn't take it. I never started it, but I wasn't taking it. I was going to come back and we're going to go at it. And there's also guys just like to talk, like just like to talk all game. I remember I was watching last night too. There was a play where Jamar Chase got tackled by the Broncos linebacker, and they just started talking to each other. I didn't even know if they knew each other, but like those guys just like talk all game, right? Those guys were fun to play with. And there's guys sort of just like to do that, but also are funny at the same time. So we're getting ready to do to do a field goal. And I think we had a TV timeout or something. So we're all just sort of like standing around about to do the field goal. I'm on field goal. The other guy's on defense. And he says to one of our linemen, don't even remember who it was, like, hey, so and so, we have a dental plan with the NFLPA. And the entire group is like, everyone's laughing. And then we snap the ball while everyone's laughing. Like, it just continued to go on, the laughter. In the middle of this play, we're just giggling. To all of us, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, are laughing the entire time. It's a stupid joke. Like, your teeth are fucked up, dude. Go get them fixed. That's as simple as it was. And we laughed the entire snap. Like, we're in the middle of, like, I'm trying to brace myself for field goal protection, and we're just like crying, laughing. It's like stupid. So how dumb is that joke? It's so completely dumb, Gabe. But in the middle of a game, it was just the funniest thing, man. We laughed. The entire group laughed. Offensive line, defensive line, we all were laughing as the ball was snapped.
So I don't understand why the broadcast doesn't do more to point this out. Not the literal jokes. We're not going to have microphones on every player and every snap, but that's clearly happening all the time. And guys who call, football professionally know it. And like, why are we meant to take this so seriously all the time if you guys aren't even taking it seriously?
But it's also like the timing of like we were getting, like, again, it was sort of a TV timeout. We were in our stances, but not really. We're kind of just like lollygagging. And then as we get into our stance, he says like, hey, so-and-so, I don't even know who it was again. It's like, hey, the NFLPA has a dental plan. It's just like the timing, like the Prater thing. Like, if that would happen, if Prater told me that joke in the middle of an important game, I would have been like, screw you, probably. But it's a preseason game. It just was like the perfect timing for that. Middle of training camp, like, you kind of need a laugh like that. And yeah, I think part of that is just hard to capture. And also, I don't know, like, you have to be part of it, I think, to get the joke. I don't know if it'd be that funny if they just aired all those jokes all the time.
No, and I guess that's what, they do at NFL Films. They give us the cleaned up version a couple weeks later. So let's talk about the Rams, because they're also in the NFC. So I'm basically taking away from everything you just said, pre-Prater joke. The Packers are good, but we just don't know how good the defense is. So we're not ready to saint them yet. The Rams, meanwhile, pretty quietly, are just that team that keeps on winning. They obviously lose in the weirdest way possible to the Eagles. Otherwise, they're 4-0, but now they're 3-1. They seem like a complete team, but make me smarter about the Rams.
Well, the Rams were my pick to win the division and make it to the conference championship game. I think they're a very good team. And they started slow in week 1 because Matt Stafford did not play, in the preseason. So it makes sense that week 1 was slow. They should have beat Philly. It didn't happen, right? And then, of course, it's funny, like, they didn't cover against Philly, and then should not have covered against the Colts, but ended up covering. Can I tell you something, Gabe?
But just don't say Colts, please. We banned them.
No. We're not talking about the Colts. I feel fortunate. I grew up in Los Angeles, right? And I got to listen to like Vin Scully and Chick Hearn call games, right? Lakers and Dodgers. And like, I've always liked play-by-play guys. I don't know why. I don't want to be a play-by-play guy, but I've just enjoyed good calls. Like, Joe Davis is incredible for the Dodgers. He does great for baseball. Like, as we get into the postseason, I love listening to calls. I'll tell you what, man, I love listening to the Spanish language calls. And there is one, a Tutu Atwell's touchdown to end the game by the Rams, the audio guy, it is unbelievably good. It's so much better than anything that we do. And I just want to give it a shot. I saw it on TikTok, wherever it was. Maybe we could post a video of it on the show. Gabe, it is so good. I even showed my wife who liked it, doesn't like sports at all. Why can't we have some of that passion in our calls, on our radio calls in this country?
I wonder if our English language soccer calls in Europe are equally passionate. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. Like, he did this entire like Tutu Atwell thing. It was so good. So I just want to give a shout out. I don't know who it is. I just came around a TikTok. It's fantastic. The Rams are good, man. Look, they're well coached. Check. Young, hungry defense. Check. Quarterback who's good. Check. And then Puka Nacua has a billion freaking carries. I've seen a billion receptions now over the weeks. And look, and Devontae Adams, like, we got I want to give a shout out. Troy Santiago, that's the Rams Spanish language announcer. Incredible call, unbelievable. So I thought the Rams were gonna be good, Gabe. They're proving me right so far. I've been wrong about other teams, and the Niners are so beat up right now. I might look to back the Rams. to win the division. I think we have that already in pocket. I might hit it again. We still have like $1,500 to work with between Matt and I for some of these wagers.
Okay, well, sprinkle a little more on the Rams, perhaps. The only team that's beat them are the Eagles, who are undefeated and obviously look like the top team in the NFC. But, look, I try not to make too much out of these goofy, things athletes tweet in the heat of the moment. But A.J. Brown sending cryptic tweets basically saying, like, whatever, they don't throw me the ball, and I'm annoyed, but I'm not going to say I'm annoyed, but he's obviously annoyed. Like, where is A.J. Brown on all the guys who play that position are divas? And no, this is a problem.
When you win, it's not a problem. When you lose, it's a problem. That's the way it's always been. So they continue to win. Dude, they've won 20 of last 21 games. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're at the level that the Chiefs were for a couple of years, and I don't think they get the credit for being as good as they've been. They just play good football each and every week. And Brown's got to get over himself. It's that simple, right? You want the ball more? Okay. Some games, 2 games ago, you got the ball a ton. This game you didn't. You won pretty convincingly. I know Tampa Mountain will come back there late. But these guys are going to be divas, man. Look, wide receivers, Gabe, it's a very me position, right? You run your route by yourself. You try to win by yourself. And your success then relies on a quarterback giving you the ball. So all this me, I don't get the ball. I can't shine. I can't get paid. I can't do what I want to do. And so I understand the frustration for not getting the ball, but we can't do this every week. We can't do it every week. We can't pout every week. We don't, especially after the week again, we had a great game against the Rams 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know, because in my job, making shows for the last 20 something years, if everything goes right and the show's a good show, and I kind of just get to sit back and a host does everything they're supposed to do, and all the graphics and video look good on air, and there's no technical problems, that's a good day for me. I'm not man, I wish I'd been more needed more of the time. I'm happy to take an easy one. I don't understand, other than the idea that you need the stats to get paid. He's got a contract, and everyone knows he's a top 10 guy in the league. Yeah. What's he worried about?
Good question. So far today, you've been in the office for 40 minutes. It's going well so far. Good start to your day. So
thank you. It's going great. Hank's got it all. Let him ram his head tush push style into the VMix that powers this thing. I don't need to be doing that.
Also, you guys are doing an awards show, correct? You have your own awards
now.
Good
plug, Geoff. The Ducky Awards.
Can I nominate people?
Yeah, I would love for you to nominate people.
What are the award? What are the categories?
We got a lot of them. There's some of them are. Here's one that you might like. You ready? And then we'll get back to some football. We'll take a quick break and talk about a guy we don't usually talk about. But one for you, the 4 over 40 award.
Okay.
Are you there yet? Have you hit 40 yet, Geoff?
No. July.
Yeah, you're not eligible. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm not up for awards. I thought Matt told me it's for behind the scenes people.
Yeah, it is, but I'm just telling you that's the kind of award I thought you'd be interested to hear. The industry has the 40 under 40. It always recognizes these youngs. I'm saying no, screw that. We're recognizing the olds.
Wait, how many people are above 40 that work in your office?
And that's not for my company. It's for the whole industry.
Oh, I thought this was more for. Oh, it's okay. I thought it was more for just your company,
buddy. This is going to be similar to an Emmy before long.
Oh, this changes. Okay, so this changes a lot of things. So 4 over 40. The top 4 producers over 40, or just general media members over 40?
No, you got to be sort of at a certain level. I don't want suits. Right now, we got competition, Geoff. There's other podcasts out there on a Tuesday talking about the NFL. Somebody's got to make that show behind the scenes. Some of those people are over 40. We're ready to acknowledge those people. It's not all a bunch of kids scrambling around on TikTok, Geoff.
Great plug. Okay, now I know what it's about. I thought it was just about, it's not from your company. I thought that was, okay, so anyone in the media industry. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to even do a segue here. Maybe I'm 40 over 40 eligible.
Well, you are.
One of our fellow guys, wouldn't call him a behind-the-scenes guy. In fact, he's always in the spotlight. Aaron Rodgers. He could be a 4 over 40 type guy. And I think the day has come that we need to speak about him on this show.
We will do that, Gabe, in just a second. So video viewers, don't go anywhere. If you're listening, we'll be right back. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers. I guess that's the time has come. All right, Gabe, we're back. Pittsburgh is 3-1.
Yeah.
They have forced 5 turnovers against the Patriots and won by 7, and forced 2 against the Vikings and won by 3. They're +7 in turnovers. They're 3-1. They are still about +250 on DraftKings to win the AFC North, despite being 2 games up on the Baltimore Ravens. Aaron Rodgers is sort of doing what he has to do. He threw that ball 3 yards, and DK ran the next 70, but he's not making mistakes. He is moving the ball down the field, and Pittsburgh is doing the voodoo they always do, and I don't understand it because no other team does this every single season.
Yeah, and with the Ravens' loss, I didn't know +250. That feels like you got to bet that, right? Was there any argument against that?
Well, the argument is that the Steelers have started fast for years now and then just like take a nosedive halfway through the season.
They finish above 500 every single year of Tomlin's whole life. So that division isn't going to get won, but you don't need 14 wins to win the AFC North this year.
So right now, as of now, because I looked at this yesterday, they play in the AFC North, correct? It is +200, come down a little bit, +200 to win the North right now on DraftKings. So it was about 250, 270 yesterday.
But are we we're saying the Ravens are a contender? Anyone listening to the top of this show probably doesn't think that right now.
Yeah, I know, but like, what if the Ravens get healthy?
They're running out of time. I mean, we're a quarter of the way through the season.
I know. The one thing is like, if you like the Steelers to win the division, Mike Tomlin to win Coach of the Year might be worth a play here as well. So
I bet that every year.
18-1. He's not won yet. So look, they're doing their job, man. They're playing good football. They beat a Vikings team with a quarterback that's on the ban list, and we won't mention his name. Pittsburgh, though, look at their schedule, because sometimes their schedule dictates. I mean, look, they got Browns, Bengals, Packers. I mean, look, the Bengals and Browns now stink. I mean, they could be 5-1 heading, about to host Green Bay. The schedule's pretty. Oh man, they might win the division, dude.
That's a tieable game. They could be 5-1-1. I think we just stumbled on something we should bet, Jeff. I don't know how much of that money you got in your pocket with Matt, but maybe talk to him about putting that.
It was on the list of things to add to the futures portfolio on our Thursday show. So we will talk about that with Matt if we want to put money on that or not.
I'd like a finder's fee if that happens. Can we play the one word sorta game?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. Bengals receivers over the past 2 games, if our math is correct, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are making about $82,000 per yard receiving. Got a one-word response to that?
Expected. What do you expect with Jake Browning?
Browning. Okay, got it.
Yeah. What do you expect with Jake Browning?
I don't know. I thought he was going to kind of hold it together.
No, they're backup quarterbacks for a reason. He's not even like an upper echelon backup quarterback. And we saw too, like in week 2, about Mariota looked great in week 1. It's like, oh, there's Mariota, real Mariota now as a backup. I mean, these guys 1 or 2 weeks, and then the backup. That's the reason why they're a backup. So it sucks for them, but maybe invest in some better offensive linemen.
Okay. I don't really like this next quote, even though it's a terrific quote from a guy who clearly understands exactly who he's playing for. Breece Hall of the Jets said, quote, "Teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head." Exactly, Breece. That is why sports divorce exists for fans like me.
The Jets have a problem, many problems, but one of them is Aaron Glenn dude, I don't know, man. This team is undisciplined. He gets a ton of penalties. He's supposed to be a defensive guy. The defensive personnel is good there. They're bad on defense. I'm beginning to worry about him as a coach. I mean, look at the other first-year coaches. We're seeing some improvement in their teams into week 5 now. The Jets are getting worse every week.
Yeah, and thank you, Hank, for putting up the banned list. As a reminder, we should never have even spoken of the Jets. It was only because that quote was just so damn good. So since we're pushing it here, I'll push another one. tush push discourse supposedly banned, but the Eagles used 2 fake tush pushes. I don't know if we have a clever name for what a fake tush push is, but should we ban those too? Or should we complain about that all season? Should the whole NFL offseason be about banning fake tush pushes?
Did they jump off sides though? That's the important thing. If they did jump off sides, we can't complain. I find it so funny, man. That I do not watch sports complaining about the officials. I just don't get the people that do that, Gabe. I don't understand. We'll talk about Oregon in a little bit. I'm not watching that game against Penn State being like, they didn't call the holding penalty. How dare the officials? How do you watch sports like that? It would blow my mind. I mean, there was a play in that game that was 100% targeting, and I hate the targeting rule. I don't even know if you saw the play, Gabe. It's hard. It's targeting. They made themselves like, he hit him with like the crown of the helmet versus the face mask versus the top. I'm like, what is this? It's a targeting. But I'm not at the TV like screaming like that called targeting. How dare you officials? You cost us the game. Like, it's just weird, the behavior that people have toward officiating, man. Yeah, it has problems. It certainly does. But people get so obsessed with like everything that the referees miss in every game. I'm just not the type of fan.
I'm not either. And there was a lot of it on Sunday night. There was a lot of it on Saturday night in a game we'll talk about soon. But before then, since we're here trying to make delicious TikTok content, let's redraft the 2024 quarterback class. One word response to the idea that we should redraft this every single week and just completely change our minds about who's good in that class.
Incredible idea for social content.
Thank you.
As the leader of the YouTube channel and TikTok YouTube Shorts. There we go. YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
So
let's do it then.
Let's do it. Okay.
That class.
Okay. So I'm going Jane Daniels 1 still. Okay. Daniels 1. I'm going Caleb Williams 2. Okay. Caleb Williams 2. I think for now we're going Bo Nix 3. Drake May's catching him at 4. All right. Penix, McCarthy. Did I nail them? I got all of them? Yeah.
As far as I know, we keep adding names and pretending they're relevant. There's only 2 of those guys that matter in my mind.
I think Drake May could pass Bo Nix.
Oh, wow.
Quickly. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. He could be better than the great Bo Nix. Is that real? Oh, what a hot take.
It is. The hottest take is going to be, is Caleb Williams a product of like Ben Johnson? Is it a product of his, and he wasn't great on Sunday. The Bears should have lost that game. Well, but Ben Johnson is doing a great job of just getting him in the right position for success. And Williams is not doing the USC stuff anymore.
Well, also his defense isn't giving up 46 points a game or whatever.
Yeah,
but
we're not talking about Spencer Rattler, Hank. Sorry. I was going to nominate Hank for an award. Not anymore.
Well, guess what? We can redraft the 2024 quarterback class again next week because that's what sports takes are. My Chargers were finally here. So they lost to the Giants. And the real headline to me was Joe Alt's injury, but one word for the Chargers and their line.
Bad. 45 pressures last 2 weeks they've given up. So this actually is we'll do a football thing here. So you have 5 offensive linemen, right, Gabe? Okay. When one is out, you can supplement that, especially at tackle. Like, let's say right tackle's out, right? You can supplement that with backup right tackle, and then obviously tight end, running back, some schematic things to help out one guy being out. It's easier at tackle, but inside you put slide a center there. Like, you can figure it out, right? The problem becomes now when you have 2 guys out. And we saw this on Sunday for the Chargers. When you have one guy out, you game plan with that, right? Now, when you have a running back or tight end help you, that takes one less guy out of the route concept. So most route concepts, right, are 2, 3, or 4 guys. And you would like to get more guys out. You get 3 guys out on one side of the field, it spreads apart the defense, right, Gabe? It gives you more options. 4 guys out, which is rare, but like a four person, like more options, right? You send 3 guys out, the back flares out, defense drops off, you throw the back, defense comes up, you throw number 2. You get my idea, right? And then, so you build this all week around one guy being out. Then The other guy, Joe Alt, who is the guy you're like, hey, buddy, you're one-on-one all day today. We're helping the right tackle. He comes out. You have a backup left tackle who's worse than the backup right tackle. You don't really have a way to help the left tackle when you didn't practice all week to do that. Because you've set up everything in your game plan around helping the right tackle. And that includes, again, the route concepts, right? And making sure that you've practiced, okay, chip, get out, chip, cross, chip, sit. Like all the things you do after you chip in the route concept. You can't just be like, hey, actually now we're going to switch to the other side and do it all game on the left tackle. It doesn't work that way, right? You didn't game plan for that. And it takes practice for the quarterback to understand the route concepts with maybe one less guy in it. Also, too, like if you help both sides, you get 3 guys out, maybe just 2 guys out. You can't really complete a lot of passes with 2 wide receivers out. It doesn't work. It's just kind of impossible. So it's hard just to switch in the middle of a game to give someone help when you haven't practiced all week, giving that person help. Lastly, too, because the offensive lineman, you have to work with the running back and tight end to understand what the timing of their help is going to be. Because if you set too far back as an offensive lineman and the running back or tight end hits the defensive end, that guy might go inside by just accident, essentially, because you've given too much room there, and the chip knocks the defender inside, and he has a free rush to the quarterback. So you have to time up your pass set with knowing where that back is going to be, where the tight end's going to be. And again, if you didn't practice that, it's hard just to say in a game, go do that now. So like that's where the problem becomes. I saw someone put this out about offensive line development. Well, the Bills didn't have the right tackle, and they were fine. You're fine. One guy being out, you can be fine with. It's the 2 guys being out that really kill you.
Okay, what I heard, thank you for that.
I know that was very geeky, but it is what it is.
The point of this show is for you to geek out just like that. But what I heard was, as a parent of 3 kids, the joke is 1 kid is 2 kids, 2 kid is 4 kids, 3 kids is 1,000,000 kids. There's just too much. It's like 2 is manageable, but it feels like a lot. 3 is just we're overwhelmed. They're just sacking us all day long.
That's why we stopped at 2.
Yeah. Nice job by you. Let me ask you this: Alt goes down during the game. That's hopeless. If he's out and they're practicing all week with the now backup, is that a manageable situation? He's an NFL player. These are pros. You put another big body there and you give him a week of practice.
And, you lost like 2 all-pro tackles. You
I got that.
Replacements.
Okay.
I mean,
the drop-off's that dramatic.
Yeah, you're in a tough spot here, yeah. And Alt out, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, high ankle sprain, so it's not great.
No, it's not great. It's not great for fantasy owners either. Okay, Jackson Dart on the other side of the ball. Look, he surprised me a little in getting the win. He played okay. What did you think of his debut?
People are talking about him like he's like Patrick Mahomes. He threw for like 110 yards. He's fine.
I don't know who his PR person must be. Matt Rule's PR person from a few years ago. I can't. I
saw someone did a side by side of the Jackson Dart, and they put a photo of Tim Tebow up and like to compare the quarterbers. And
the amount of talk is rivaling my boy Tim Tebow. Brian Daboll obviously loves him. Tender embrace post game. There it is. Yeah, look at them looking into each other's eyes. That's Brian Daboll saying to him with his eyes, I like living in Jersey. I have a nice home here. I want to be here. Please don't get me sent to some OC job for some big name coach in the SEC. I want to stay here with you.
You mean Alabama? You called this last week. We talked about this.
But then Kellen DeBoer screwed that up for me beating Georgia.
Yeah.
That really put a dent in my great take.
That did. Yeah. Maybe not a great take then.
Okay, here. Last time for another great take. Ready? The Bills are clearly the best team. We can save time talking about them. So I gave you them at the 1 spot. Another social video. Fill in the rest of your top 5 at the quarter poll. Go. Gotta be fast. Okay. Fast.
Bills, Eagles. Now you're putting all this pressure on me. Let's go with the Rams are probably got to be there, right? The Rams 3-1 Rams. Look at that. I have to look at
do it. No. Say the team you want to say. Do it. Don't worry about the record. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, there we go. And then give me the AFC is so weird right now. There's like not, you know what? Let's go with the Am I? Are the Colts banned for this topic, Gabe?
Yeah.
For the fifth best team in the NFL?
You don't want them there. Stop that.
Give me the. Oh wow. Who is the fifth best team in the NFL right now? I was going to say the Chargers, but
Seahawks.
they're like they're so beat up right now. How do you? Oh no, the Lions. Sorry, the Lions. Sorry, Lions. Yes, I forgot the Lions. Lions 5.
All right, let's do it again
Bills,
so it's
Eagles,
easier
Rams,
for
Chiefs,
Hank to
Lions.
cut it. Yeah, go ready,
Okay.
go.
All right. Bills 1, Eagles 2, Rams 3, Chiefs 4, Lions 5. There you go.
Oh, that's going
There we
viral.
go. That is. That is. Yeah.
We
There
don't
go.
like talking kickers for a second here. Jason Myers got caught having an insane reaction to smelling salts on Thursday night. He looked absolutely like a complete lunatic, and it was awesome, and I hate to admit that. Should we all be doing smelling salts more often?
Oh, I didn't look. I don't have them. Do I have them? I have when I was big in the Peloton, I kept smelling salts like near the Peloton. I might have them. It gives you a good hit, man. That wakes your ass up.
Should we require kickers to use smelling salts?
I think you should require all your podcast hosts to take a hit of a smelling salt before they go on the show. It would perform really well.
I'm in. If Hank can get us some smelling salts, that would help because we're recording this pretty damn early on the West Coast. So I'd take a hit of that.
Or order some smelling salts. I would love to see Gabe take a smelling salt on the show.
Yeah, I've smelled some gross shit in my day, but
ammonia
I've never
packets.
tried one of those.
What's going to happen is you're going to put it too close to your face. It's going to get in your. It's going to be bad news. But I would like to see you try to do that.
All right, I promise to do that. Last one before a quick break, and then we got to hit some college. Give me your World Series prediction, quick.
Anyone but the Dodgers. Which so I think that two things are important in the postseason, right, Gabe? Can you pitch and can you get big hits, right? Like big home runs. And in the American League, I think that's the Mariners. Like I know. Did you just groan? You didn't like that pick?
I don't like that pick.
And then
they got one guy I've heard of. Give me the big thumper. Okay, I get it.
Then probably whoever wins the Phillies Dodgers series is going to go to the World Series in the NL. I would like it to be the Phillies.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but if I had to just put money somewhere comfortably and not overthink this, just take the Yankees.
No, they're. I don't think you can bet on a team that plays defense the way they do in the postseason.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be. I mean, we literally saw it happen last season. I'm looking up the odds right now to win the World Series on World Series right here on DraftKings. The favorite right now is the Phillies and Mariners. I did not know that before I picked them to make the World Series. So there you go.
But I like my pick as value.
Yankees are 8-1. 8-1, yeah. I bet on the Dodgers to win their series, and I parlayed it with the Broncos last night to win and the Bills to beat the Patriots. Dodgers were like minus 250. I don't want to pay that outright, so I put them all together. So if the Bills win and the Dodgers win their series, I won some money.
All right. We've gone too far without talking about college football, and we're running out of time. I'd like to save some of it for you to make me smarter about a few teams, including your favorite team, the team you're wearing right now, the Oregon Ducks.
Let's do that. We'll be back in a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right, Gabe. Here we go. I'm gonna match today. I got my duck. I have a couple choices here. You can maybe choose which hat you like me to wear here. I can wear the classic O. I can wear in green. I can wear the classic O in black. But I decided to match here with this. Man, what a night. It was fun. It was fun because I knew Oregon was good, and I didn't think this was going to be a year to think about winning anything more than the conference or getting to the postseason and winning a playoff game or two, Gabe. But you go into that atmosphere and the way they played with the physicality and the way Dante Moore played, the timeline does feel a tad moved up for this season, which is super exciting. And the thing I think that was just for me as a fan, like the way the program is built and the way they operate in these environments, we had minimal penalties and we physically beat Penn State, which is what the question was about this game, right? Because last season they rushed for 300 yards on us. Is can we physically go into this environment and win this game? And then I think another thing that is just like we're a young team, man. Like we're going to be better in week 12 than we are in week 5. We start a true freshman corner. We start another true freshman. We start a redshirt freshman corner. We start a redshirt freshman safety. We have our best D tackles in his 5th game as a starter. Like we have all these things with just our best wide receiver is a true freshman. Our best running back is a true freshman. Our quarterback is in his 3rd year, but really that was his 5th start for us, right? He plays a true freshman at UCLA. Like there's just so much youth on this team to play the way they did in that game. Really impressive.
Yeah, this game solidified 2 lazy narratives in my mind, but I'm just going to say them anyway. Sorry, James Franklin just doesn't have it. And Dan Lanning, I'm ready to say, is my top choice. If I'm building a program in college football in 2025, I want Dan Lanning. I think he's the best coach out there.
So a couple things. I'm going to do Franklin first here. I don't know, Gabe, what he could have done differently in this game other than just he chose the wrong quarterback to be his guy, right? Like he chose Drew Aller over Pabula, who's at Missouri. Maybe that was the wrong choice because there wasn't one play in this game other than maybe that punt from like the plus 40 that you're like, why are we punting the ball? That was like, it wasn't like a play like that's James Franklin's fault in this game. I think a little bit of the fault goes to the idea that the offense in a lot of these big games is very, very boring until it has to be more creative. And all of a sudden they scored 2 touchdowns immediately when they were a little more creative. It happened against Notre Dame. It's happened in other big games where they get behind or it's kind of, they're stuck in the mud and all of a sudden they open up the offense. And the idea, I guess, is that if you do it for 4 quarters and you put more on Drew Aller, he just can't do it. But in short little bursts, when it has to be done, he can be the guy to do it in those short moments. And of course, like in overtime, he throws the interception. As far as Dan Lanning, dude, I can't believe how blessed we are to have him as our coach, dude. He is. It's yes, he was fired up after the game, and although he looked like a crazy person because I think he really wanted to win and the passion that he showed. But it's 2 things. It's the player development, right? And it's the ability to adapt and evolve with no ego. So like the player development part speaks for itself. And yes, some of these guys are transfer portal players. I get it. But again, Dante Moore was a true freshman at UCLA who had struggles, sat out. They convinced him to sit out last season. Hey, come here and learn. And then you see his improvement already, right? Through 5 games. You look across even on the defensive line. Last year, we got pushed around against Penn State and Ohio State. We not get pushed around yesterday. Like guys have gone stronger and bigger and faster. And even like, I'll give you, you won't like this, but like Bear Alexander, right? The transfer from USC.
Mm-hmm.
His best game ever as a player at Penn State. And he didn't even game one Gabe. He was not starting this season, game 1. I don't think he started till game 4. Like they've worked him in. They've got, and he was a freaking monster in this game. And it's like stuff like that. It's those things. Like, again, you're playing a bunch of these true freshmen. And here's, again, to get very nerdy for just a second here. So for 3 years, Oregon played a predominantly man coverage on defense. And we can get away with that against most everyone except Washington, who carved us up, and Ohio State, who carved us up. And what do we do this year, Gabe? Play a ton of zone coverage. Like he just adapts. He says, look, this is not working for us against better teams. We have to find a better way to keep everything in front of us on defense. And this year they're running a ton of cover 2, keep it in front of us. Let's just not give them explosive plays. And the idea that you can just evolve like that is very impressive to me as a coach. And he's a cool dude. I was texting with him yesterday. Like he just seems like a chill person in general. So very fortunate to have him be our head coach.
You are extremely fortunate, and I'm not glad you brought up Bear Alexander, but it makes me want to ask a follow-up question. So, obviously, Bear Alexander just becomes unplayable for Lincoln Riley. I don't know exactly what the problem was there, but I know that watching the Illinois offensive line push the middle of the defensive front of USC around, especially late, I know that a 302-pound, like, All-American type player would have been helpful. What is there also just something to Lanning can make difficult guys buy in, which he seemingly did with Alexander, and Lincoln Riley and others like him they can't?
So I think it's about the way they practice and train. And if you don't buy into that level of physicality and that level of improvement, Gabe, you just won't make the team. You know what I mean? Like, you just won't do it. And when you choose to come to Oregon, you choose to buy into that. And what I notice is just like the brotherhood of this team is very strong. And that's not, it comes from Lanning, but also comes from the other players holding you accountable, right? You have a player like Mateo Uyunglele, who's been there now for 3 years, and Tuioti, like, are two defensive ends. Like, they're not going to put up with Bear's shit. Like, Bryce Betcher, our middle linebacker, is probably not going to put up with his shit. And so I'm not saying Bear's a bad person, just like the example, right? Like, and so if you want to play, you better play up to the standard that Oregon has on defense. And again, he didn't play much in the first couple of weeks. I wonder if he came out of training camp and that standard was not being upheld. And then and he realized, like, if I want to play, I better play better. And so that, and when I watch USC, I've said this for years, man, like, it's just kind of soft. And I think it comes back to practice habits and what you stress at practice, what you stress in your program. Offensive coaches tend to have programs that are not as tough as defensive guys. I think it's a tough line to walk, right? To have a creative offensive mind like Will Stein that also have the physicality of, Alabama did this for years, right? Where you had the creative offensive play caller and then the very tough physical defense. Georgia's a little bit less, but sort of the same idea. The Georgia offense has not been the same since Todd Monken left. And to combine those two together, you typically just have one or the other, right? You're a very physical, defensive-minded team, Penn State, right? Or you're an offensive open, we're running the ball, we're open offense up, but your defense lacks a little bit. And Oregon has sort of found that. Ohio State has found to do both those things. It's really hard to do both those things at once. And I think this players buy into that idea. Plus, like, if you come, he's on a 1-year deal, right? He wants to go to the NFL. Oregon's proven you come here as a transfer portal guy, you're getting the NFL. And so he just buys in. You buy into the proof is there. Proof of concept is there. Just come and be the guy, like, buy into what we're doing. We'll get you to the NFL, buddy. And the other thing that is interesting to note about, again, I think we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, Gabe, is I think the returning production thing is actually becoming a real big topic of mine this season. Where, like, Penn State's offensive line, a bunch of guys returning. Illinois' offensive line, a bunch of guys returning. Illinois played better against USC. And Clemson, right? All these guys returning. And I wonder if there's a complacency level now because players are getting paid and because of social media. And all you hear all offseason is, like, how good you're going to be, how good you're going to be, how good you're going to be. And I was at Big Ten Media Day. Like, we were talking high about Illinois' offense. Like, hey, man, you got 5 guys back. You guys going to be really good this season, right? And you hear that about Penn State. Like, you got everyone back this year. You're going to go for a championship. You're going to be good this season, right? And then you look at the other teams, like, and just stick to Big Ten because I cover it a lot. You look at, like, Oregon, right? Like, I don't know, man. They got, like, 3 new offensive linemen. Ohio State's got to replace all these guys, and they're doing just fine. I wonder if that, because, like, if you're Isaiah World or left tackle, you're Pregnon or left guard, you're a right tackle, Harkey, like, 3 guys trying to go to the NFL after the season. Like, there's a hunger there to buy in and play as well as possible. Bear Alexander, right? There's a hunger there where if you're returning as a starter, you're making $1 million a year, you hear all these praises. Is there the same fire as Ohio State? You wait for 2 years and you get a chance to start in your 3rd year. You play well, you go to the NFL type of mentality. I wonder if that is something that is the reason to explain some of this around college football, where the most experienced offenses are just not playing up to expectations, where the more inexperienced offenses are playing just fine.
It's a good theory. I think we should talk about it in the weeks to come. We are now in the thick of the college football season. Speaking of thick, there was a thick screen to an Alabama left tackle, split wide, 6'7", 366, Caden Proctor, and he's just huge. Bashed 9 guys on his way to a first down. I'd like to know more about that next week, because we got to get
Yes.
out of here. We've been asking
do.
people to listen for a long time. Make some picks for me Thursday, and then
I
on
will.
Tuesday I want to hear about the big boys.
Caden Proctor, unbelievably awesome. All right, guys, we'll be back on Thursday with some picks. Got to do better. It's been a rough start this year, but we'll be better. We'll be back on Thursday. Please rate, review, subscribe. Always appreciate comments on YouTube as well. We'll talk to you guys on Thursday. Take care, everybody.